The fifth critical choice I made was to finally embrace my boundless capacity to love. And I want to just pause for a second and be very clear with the audience what I mean here is the choice. What I'm talking about here is not love as an emotion. We've talked about this, like with our kids, when my kids were born, I didn't have to choose to love them. I just did. What I'm talking about is love the action, love the verb, and the choice to give my love and all of it in every interaction that I have. And then the choice to also receive all the love that others want to give back to me. Now, I was 45 years old before I made that choice. Married, 2 kids, perfect, quote unquote, professional life, personal life, whatever. But I still withheld. I still was guarded. I still didn't want to give and receive at all. So with that, let's talk about that a little bit, because I know you've experienced the same.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. More than I'd like to admit, especially right now. I think because of the fear of getting hurt, when somebody shows you anything that would hurt, and people that have been hurt like us, that you shut right off. It's easy with my kids. I see them, I just want to hug them and squeeze them, like bite their little noses. It's so cute. But when it's other people, it's weird. Like my buddy Billy, I can just receive love unconditionally. Friend Johnny from a former life, like we used to hang out a lot. I went to his 4th of July fireworks. He's a tough guy, and I haven't seen him in years. And he's really a tough, intense guy, and I can give and receive love because I know he genuinely loves me. Most people, I'm guarded. I'll be honest, I'm very guarded with that. I've got to work on that a lot. People who work for me, I'm pretty good about it because I genuinely see them every day, and the guide comes down. It's probably one of my biggest weak spots.
Well, I think it's human nature's biggest weak spots.
Probably, yeah.
How about this? What does it feel like when you do choose to give it all?
That's a great feeling.
All is like the key word here, right? Yeah. To not withhold.
I think that's great because when you do, I'll tell you, like you and I clicked right off the bat. Right. And like when we just vibe, it's vibes. It's just comfortable. Gary and I clicked right off the bat. His friend Kurt, same thing. So the people I click with, they get to see like the real Ryan, which is goofy and funny and laid back. Most of the world sees Ryan with a little bit of an edge. And, when I go to the bank, the kids at the bank know me. When I go to the ice cream, anywhere I go consistent, I can be me, but it takes a while. And at first you just see me and, I'm polite, but I'm definitely, I can look right through you. Mm-hmm. And that's something I've been working on is letting myself be myself more.
You are a giver. You are a big giver. You give of your time. You give what is it? Time, talent, treasure.
I don't know. I've heard something like that.
Yeah. Right? So I think you do like all 3 all the time, even the stories that you were just telling us. Why is it? So here's my observation. An observation is sometimes it's easier to receive. No, it's easier to give than to receive.
I agree.
Why is that?
I think when you're giving towards somebody, you don't have it. There's no risk. You're just doing what you're going to do. You're being you. When you're receiving, you've got to be open to receiving. You got to hope they're giving you what's genuine, what's pure, and what's not corrupted. I can do anything. I've got somebody in my life right now I'm doing a lot for, but I wouldn't let that individual do much for me because I just closed off because there's too much risk when you're letting somebody in. It's easy to give.
Right. But here's the thing, and I have to tell myself this too, and I think that we got to practice this a little bit, is the feeling of joy and love that you get when you give, right? Because I see it in you. I see it when you tell the stories and you get from giving. And so when we don't receive, we're actually blocking that person's ability to get back too.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, it is. You're kind of shutting them down and not giving them that opportunity to fulfill you.
Yeah, like it's okay for me to get the enjoyment and the fulfillment and the love and the joy from giving, but I'm not going to let you get that.
That's true. It's true. Yeah. I never thought of it that way. I always just thought of it being nice. But the truth is, you're kind of having boundaries on what and it's supposed to be a two-way street.
And it could be like something like so small or so big or whatever. And I know that when we do choose to give our love, whether that's through kindness or service or listening or forgiveness or picking up the phone or all of these different ways that love manifests itself, that I believe that is when we really start to create enduring success, lasting success, true success, not just for ourselves, but for those people around us, including our kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And I know that there's, an infinite number of reasons why we as people hold back and don't give and withhold and guard. But my question always is, what if each of us in just the next 5 interactions, like just the next 5 interactions we have with the human beings around us, if we truly showed up with the intent of giving all and receiving all?
Yeah, I think it would be good. When you say it that way, I do think it could be a real positive. I think that's something that by working on it, life gets more fulfilling and more full of joy. I think the longer you withhold stuff like that, you bottle up.
Yeah.
And
then you miss out.
Absolutely. Every time I've put my hand out to somebody or done something, it's always, and I've allowed it to come back. And it's easy when you're in a group that has common goals. It's a little different society. But I think taking the first step like that and allowing somebody, most people don't want to hurt you. I always say that. Most people would rather help somebody than hurt them.
For sure. And then we just maybe need to just trust a little bit more that their intent is there too. And when I think about my journey, that was my 5th choice because I wasn't emotionally, mentally, spiritually prepared to make that choice until I did.
Yeah.
But if I would have just started there, then committing to a 2-way agreement wouldn't have actually been a choice. I would have just naturally done it. Build trust, it wouldn't have been a choice. I would have just done it. Community and belonging,
I think things unfold the way they're supposed to. I think they unfold the way they're supposed to. I think it takes all that stuff to build up to allow you to feel like you give. You know what I mean? I think there's a path. I think that the path went the way it was supposed to.
I am so grateful that I met you when I met you.
Such a cool time, yeah.
That I met you and when I met you, and that we allowed each other to give and receive.
Yeah, it was really natural with us. I mean, it was funny. We're just sitting next to each other on the airplane, jamming away. I'm like, for me, I don't really talk on the airplane because,
me neither.
But it was such a common thing. When I learned what you did, I was like, oh my God, I love this. This is incredible.
Thank you for joining me for our Choose and Become interview series. You could find this episode and others at trishkendall.com. Just go to trishkendall.com/choose-become-interview-series. Or if you have a question or just want to leave a comment, email me, trish@trishkendall.com.